So we are going to start with our first speaker, who is Dr. Pannaga Teragundi from India. He's an Ayurvedic physician, educator, and researcher. He holds his medical doctor degree of Ayurveda from the College of Ayurveda in the city of Udupi, and he's currently pursuing his PhD at the Banaras Hindu University. Dr. Teragundi has extensive experience as an advisor across multiple institutions, integrating classical knowledge with contemporary research, particularly in Ayurvedic drug design and formulations. He has presented over 25 papers at national and international seminars and received multiple awards for his research. And now, let's have Dr. Pannaga Teragundi with us online. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Om Shri Dhanvantraya Namaha. I'll share my slides. So my topic today for this conference is based on the utility of mercury in medicine. So today I'll be discussing about the use of mercury in medicine. And for a long time, since eons, mercury is the only metal which is in liquid room temperature. And this was thought to be a metal which was used for various things. It was like a core material for rest of the things to align itself for medicine. We hear stories in China, the first emperor was also buried with copious amounts of mercury. Even the pyramids also had mercury. So mercury is known throughout eons for having some specific properties. In today's presentation, I want to divert your attention to the basic three types of mercury which are available. The first one is the organic mercury. Organic mercury is the one which is binded along with the organic groups of carbon and its whole family of carbon. The inorganic mercury is the one which has the ionic bondage, and the Rasashastra mercury is completely a different type of mercury where it is mixed along with herbs, like it is potentiated or having a herbo mineral complex. That is Rasashastra mercury. So when we see in the absorption, organic mercury is the one which is having the highest absorption rate in the gut, where it is lipid soluble and crosses the gut rapidly. Whereas in inorganic, it's very poor GI absorption, moderate and moderate absorption via inhalation or in when we apply or through the skin. Whereas Rasashastra mercury is having a low sulfide, it's in the insoluble sulfide form. It has low GI absorption, but it stays longer in the gut. Distribution, again, blood-brain barrier, placenta accumulates in the CNS and the fetus, and that's the main reason why the whole Minamata disease came to be. In the organic mercury, whereas in inorganic, it accumulates in the kidneys, limited to the CNS entry. And in Rasashastra mercury, it's the nano HGS, distributed very, very slowly and bounded by the herb matrices. Metabolism, it converts into organic form in the tissues and bonds with the proteins. In inorganic, it undergoes series of redox cycles and binds with the renal proteins, either accumulates in the kidneys or it's thrown out from the kidneys. And whereas in Rasashastra mercury, it is stable compound and it is buffered through an herbal media. So these herbal media acts as a chelating agent, and they cover this mercury in a very big complex bonds, which will make it bigger in size so that they can easily be thrown out through the renal channel. Excretion, mainly fecal and minor renal, and it has a very long shelf life. The half-life period is very high inside the body, which causes biomagnification. Renal route is via urine in inorganic mercury. Half-life is shorter than organic. And Rasashastra mercury is excreted unchanged. So it's not reacting much with the body's internal organs. And it is having a very low systemic burden. So it doesn't bioaccumulate. And the toxic impact, Yes, organic mercury is severely neurotoxic. It is having teratogenic effects, which affects the upcoming newborn child as well if the pregnant mother takes it. Inorganic mercury, because of its presence in the kidneys, it is proven that it is having nephrotoxicity, GI corrosion, and even its cause for tremors. But in Rasashastra mercury, for a safe and proper, if you do the Shodhana and Marna, which are alchemical processes which are explained in Ayurveda and Rasashastra, it is said to be safe for that particular dosage. Because again, dose is what makes something which is toxic or non-toxic. When we talk about the Minamata tragedy, we have to go to Japan for this. And Minamata Bay is an area in Japan where the local chemical factories decided that they can throw out their organic mercury waste, which was methyl mercury, in the water, which contaminated the water. It started accumulating in the fishes, shellfish, all the biome which was present in the water nearby in the Minamata area were affected by this pollution, which increased the concentration of mercury in organic mercury in the fish and shellfish. And people, they didn't know about it. Local people started consuming it because that's their food, that's their staple food, the fish, and it caused tremors, paralysis, blindness, speech and hearing loss, and severe congenital deformities in the children. And it is declared as one of the worst industrial pollution disasters, highlighting the dangers of organic mercury. Point to be noted is organic mercury. So, what were the consequences of this convention? There was a convention held in October 2013, and UN treaty was signed. More than 128 countries have signed and ratified it, where they ban on new mercury mines and phase out the existing ones, uh, phase out a reduction in mercury in products, control in industrial emissions and releases, environmentally sound storage and waste management systems implemented for mercury. And in dental amalgams, it should be phased on gradually, but not there's no immediate ban. WHO guided that thimerosal, which is ethyl mercury, not the methyl mercury, but the ethyl mercury is considerably safe in that particular dosage, and which is used in vaccines can be utilized. There's no ban on that. And certain laboratory reagents and reference points, they have allowed it for research and analytical use. And most importantly, in traditional and cultural ceremonies and traditional medicines, TCM, Ayurveda, it is permitted, but it has been exempted from the ban on mercury, and parties are encouraged to promote safer alternatives. And countries can apply 5 to 10 year extension phases. It was not a right out ban. And if you see in 2023, it was the 10-year mark where it was extended period of time. To acquire mercury legally, a country must go through a process where national authority prove that it must be a necessity, and it is permitted under the Minamata exemptions, and a written consent and documentation is required for the trade. So what happens is, mercury, which was costing, let's see, 10,000 rupees in India, is now costing almost 40,000 rupees. So because the market is closed up, there is a high demand, but very less vendors, and it's a very steep channel, and so obviously the price increases, and that price is being hurt on the medicine industry in India. But mercury as medicine is not just integral part of Ayurveda, where it was called as Parada and was prescribed for it being a rejuvenator in terms of aging, diseases, and even death as an emergency medicine. It is used in various traditional medical systems. In TCM China, it was known as Zhongxi. That is, Zhongxi is used as a juza, which was used for dermatological and psychiatric conditions. In Greco-Roman medicine, it emphasizes the topical utility of mercury and it as a purgative, and it was known as hydrogydus. Unani adopted mercury's zikab in Islamic medicine. Siddha medicine itself is centered around mercury, muppu, as an universal catalyst. Sawa Rigpa, the Tibetan medicine, promoted mercury as a black powder, sotal, which was called as the king of elixirs. And that black powder is nothing but mercury sulfide, black mercury sulfide. Afro-Caribbean Yoruba healing system, mercury was used as a folk remedy and as well as a spiritual practices. Native American cultures in Mesoamerica used mercury as a sacred pigment for healing and ceremonial application for warding off infections and skin lesions. Medieval European alchemy used this as a folk medicine for ringworms as well as skin infections and vernal diseases. There was no cure for syphilis in the early 1700s and the 1800s, and mercury was the prime ingredient which was used to like stop the spread of syphilis or to have a control on syphilis, because that was the only thing which can cure it. And since Europe kind of spread around the syphilis to all different parts of the world, in India it was known as Firanga Roga, Firanga meaning a foreigner's disease. And to kill off that Firanga disease, mercury in its chloride form is used. And even in Campo medicine, Japan themselves, who have banned this mercury right now, was using sujin for sedative effects and in epilepsy and convulsions. So mercury has its use in medicine for a long, long period of time. And we can see that it's not just Ayurveda, which is carrying on the legacy, but there were many other things. The only difference being most of these were using mercury in a specific form, but Ayurveda, it talks about how mercury is also poisonous. It called mercury a poison, but we can do processing towards the mercury to make it into a stable enough form for the body to metabolize it and give us the medicinal properties. So key to making, how do we do that? The key here to stabilize mercury is sulfur. And sulfur, when it binds with mercury, it is called HGS or Kajali in Sanskrit. And it's a stable, insoluble compound preventing free mercury absorption. Because free mercury, it goes to the liver and it attaches the methyl groups and methyl mercury is formed. We don't want that, because that is what is causing most of the diseases. Bioavailability of free mercury is reactively, it's very less soluble, minimal GI absorption, as I told before, and it reduces systemic toxicity. And there is an antioxidant role of sulfur as well, because sulfur compounds act like scavengers for free radicals. Even if there is free mercury available by the fish or any pescatarian diet people follow, because it has high mercury in it, that also is taken away with the use of sulfur. There's a hepatoprotective, nephroprotective effect of sulfur that shields vital organs where mercury is binding to the cellular proteins. There was a study done by T. Lewis et al. In 2014, which shows that oral toxicity in preclinical trials, that 5 mg per kg and 10 mg per kg body weight for 60 days had no toxic symptoms. Like there was normal behavior, food and water intake was unchanged in these mice and rats, body weight was normal, and fecal droppings are also not changed in the groups. So in conclusion, they said that Kajali showed no acute or subacute toxicity at tested doses. Again, a key point, a tested doses. Like we use mercury in a Ratti Pramana, and a Ratti refers to 125 milligrams, and that's the highest dose. So when you divide that, you're basically giving them 5 mg to 10 mg a day or a per dose time. So the impact on Minamata on the Rasashastra medicine industry, there is global treaty obligations have to be met. So there is restriction of production, trade and export. Challenges for Ayurvedic pharmacies for sourcing purified mercury for their rasaushadis. Import and export license are required, and which raises cost and paperwork. International trade for mercurical Ayurvedic medicine faces scrutiny, bans in some countries. EU has completely banned Rasashastra medicines. They cannot be permitted in EU and even in the US. So it's a very uphill battle. Mostly it is taken, you can get medicines in India itself. It's not sold outside. There is a need for toxicology, pharmacology, and safety data to justify the continuous use. Push for modern analytical studies, XRDSM, ICPMS, proving the stability of Kajali, because most people are not ready to believe that mercury has such good properties. And it presents an opportunity for the present Rasashastra people to show something, because there is no modern safety protocols, we can add this Shodhana and Marana in the medicines, and it limits the global Ayurveda market expansion for Parda based formulations. But since it's a policy, the only way to move ahead is adaptation. India, a party to Minamata, must balance protecting Ayurveda's heritage versus global mercury ban compliance. So it has to have a balancing act. So what are the suggested things which we can do forward is talk about promoting restricted medicinal use only, like it should only be used for medicinal purposes. Strict GMP quality control, standardization for mercury compounds must be taken care of. Industrial training for the handling of mercury is needed. So the workers who are actually doing the medicine preparation in the pharma level have the right information and the protocol to follow when they're handling mercury. Data documentation of acquisition, utility, sale, consumption, and disposal of mercury is a must. That has to be implemented throughout the India as well as the globe. Implementation of a mercury certification news for pharmaceutical companies, uh, like how we have GMP certification. I think it's a high time we also demand a mercury use certificate, which is going to certify that this particular pharmacy is following all the protocols and giving us the right products. And again, it's the duty of the government to regulate the distribution system for mercury. Since a common person or a private company, it's having difficulty to source mercury, I think if the government is undertaking the job of acquiring the mercury and distributing it in India, then that would be a godsend. So in conclusion, there is a dual legacy of mercury, one as a medicine and one as a poison. And Ayurveda has a very beautiful shloka which describes this: yoga dapi visham tikshnam. So, in a formulation, a medicine can turn poison and a poison can turn medicine. And all of that is dependent on the dose, the delivery, and what purpose it is used for. So, if we control that, then poison can also be a medicine, and in small quantities again. There is a need to differentiate organic, inorganic, and Rasashastra mercury, because at large, everyone thinks it's one and the same, but it's not. Minamata tragedy highlights the devastating impact of methyl mercury policy. So pollution, so that has to be taken care of. It The treaty restricts mercury mining trade and use, but exempts for traditional medicine, which again Ayurveda is a part of. And sulfur is a key to control mercury and its toxicity. Future direction should incorporate needed research, safety evidence, and by adapting potential regulatory shifts. So this is a popular quotation from Nagarjuna, who is known as the father of alchemy in India. And he said that Siddhe Rase Karishyami Nirdaridram Idam Jagat. With the success of Rasakarma, that is potentiation of mercury, I shall make the world free of penury. And penury here refers to the daridrata, or the poverty, which is of the health. So he wanted to make the world free of diseases, and he sought mercury as a way to do that. Thank you.
Dear Doctor, we truly appreciate your contribution to our program here in Prague. Thank you very much and have a nice day.